is PDA autism, or can it stem from C-PTSD, which is complex post-traumatic stress disorder? Rather than focusing too much on labels, think about root causes of what is activating the nervous system. Both trauma and the neurotype of PDA can create the exact same nervous system responses, which are fight, flight, freeze, fawn, shut down. And so for a C-PTSD situation, which is repeated events that encode as trauma and are perceived as inescapable, what might activate that pathway is a implicit memory or a sensory cue of that traumatic time, like if it was in childhood. So for example, if there was neglect or abuse with a parent, then in adulthood, similar patterns to that parent or sensory input of like how the father smelled can activate those nervous system pathways. Now for a neurotype like PDA, the root cause is the subconscious perception of threat around autonomy and equality. And my perspective is that is from birth. Okay, so it doesn't require a traumatic event in the PDA child's lifetime or repeated traumatic events to cause the nervous system pathway to fire differently or more frequently. Here's the kicker. Often with parents, we are trying to do the very best we can to keep our kids healthy and safe. We're like, you need to get fresh air, you need to eat healthy food, you need to go to school, you need to speak politely to your parents. For a PDA child who's not understood, traditional parenting strategies can be repeated nervous system firing just from parenting in a typical way. Now, if the child's subconscious brain perceives that this is inescapable over the course of years, it can absolutely encode as C-PTSD even without like a big event or obvious neglect and abuse because of the landscape of the PDA brain. So this is where we want to have all the self-compassion, but also compassion for others, because understanding that a PDA autistic child can have on the surface a very traditional life and the parents didn't know anything different, they were doing their best, and yet complex post-traumatic stress disorder can be present.